Hey guys, Josiah here with Aesthetyx Fitness. In today's video, I'm going to be answering the question, which diet is better, high carb or low carb? Alright, so this is a really common question. It's probably one of the most searched diet questions on Google, and that is, if you're trying to lose weight, which diet should you go with? A high carb, low fat diet or a low carb, high fat diet? Which of them is going to be more effective? What are the effects of both of them on your body composition, physiology, and how do they work? So I'm going to try to give you a brief rundown of how both diets work, their pros and cons, and which one I personally recommend for you. So first, let me get this out of the way. Both a low-fat, high-carb and a low-carb, high-fat diet have approximately the same effect if done correctly over a long period of time. So basically, whether using a low-carb or a low-fat diet, your results over time are going to be about the same. You will see slightly faster weight loss at the very onset of a low-carb diet, but that's going to be mostly glycogen and water depletion. So basically you're going to lose some water weight and deplete your glycogen stores faster on a low-carb diet. But if you take it out a couple weeks or a couple months, the overall weight loss rate and overall weight lost in the long term is going to be about the same. However, there are pros and cons to both. On a low-carb diet, for instance, you're going to find yourself probably feeling more consistently full because you're eating a lot higher fat, and fat is very calorically dense and also very satiating. You're eating a lot of fat and a lot of protein, and so you're not burning through a lot of carbs really quickly and generating your body's metabolism to make you continually hungry like you would on a higher carb diet. However, on a higher carb diet, you will find yourself with a broader range of food choices you can eat. Things like breads, pastas, the occasional sweet, things like ice cream and cake. If you want to work those into your diet in an if it fits your macros kind of way, you can do that with a high carb diet. If you're on a keto diet where you're trying to maintain like less than 30 to 40 grams of carbs a day, you're really not going to be able to squeak many carbohydrates in there at all. It's mostly going to be trace carbohydrates and things like the vegetables that you're eating. And to drive home the point even further that it's not a specific macronutrient ratio that makes you lose weight, but specifically just the state of being in a caloric deficit, Professor Mark Kraub proved that you can lose weight. He lost 27 pounds on a diet subsisting of nothing but junk food. So he was eating like Twinkies and Doritos and other snack foods, and he lost 27 pounds. Specifically because even though he was doing that, he was in a caloric deficit. So you will lose weight if you are taking in fewer calories than your body is expending. However, with this channel, my goal is always to help you guys be healthy in addition to just getting your results. So I do not recommend dieting on junk food. I think that's a terrible idea because you're not going to be getting enough protein, you're not going to be getting enough micronutrients, nutrients in your body that you need, vitamins, minerals, and all of that. So while it's possible, not a strategy I recommend. So a couple more points about high carb versus low carb dieting. There's some different evidence that shows that high carb diets are a little better for maintaining mood. You're probably going to feel a little better on a high carb diet emotionally. Your gym performance is also going to be a little bit higher. However, a low carb diet is shown to help contribute to overall heart health, reduce risk of heart disease if performed correctly, eating the correct types of fats while you're in a low-carb diet. So both have some advantages and disadvantages, but there is one that I recommend overall for people who are specifically looking to lose fat and maintain or build muscle. And that is the high-carb, low-fat diet. The reason overall that I recommend that as sort of the macronutrient ratio of choice, for myself at least, is a couple things. And that is one, the point that I just mentioned, that gym performance and athletic performance is better when you're on a high carb diet because your body needs carbohydrates in order to fuel athletic activity. But the biggest reason that I recommend a high carb versus low carb diet is the effect of your diet on testosterone. There have been a couple of studies that have demonstrated this. In a study by Volek et al., they showed that in resistance athletes, carbohydrates and testosterone were actually basically directly linked in that the lower carbohydrates you consumed, the lower the testosterone levels in the athletes that they were monitoring. And in a study by Lane et al., they showed that men who were performing exercise exhibited a higher testosterone to cortisol level. Now, cortisol is the stress hormone. You want that to be as low as possible, so higher testosterone, lower cortisol in men consuming a high carbohydrate, low fat diet than in men consuming a high fat, low carbohydrate diet. So with all of that information taken together, for me, I want to make sure that my athletic performance in the gym is as high as it can possibly be. I want to also maintain as high a testosterone level as possible. And for me personally, the macronutrient ratio of higher carb and slightly lower fat just works for me personally better. It's going to be different for everybody, but I find that for me, if I can eat breads, pastas, rice, potatoes, things of that nature, even if I can't always have the butter and the fat and the steak and things like that that I would like to be able to eat on a low carb diet, I still feel better overall, and I think it helps maintain my mood and my energy levels a little better. So that's personally why I recommend a high-carb diet. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below with your preference on which kind of diet you prefer. And of course, subscribe to this channel because I have new content coming out every Monday and Friday for you so that I can help you to train smarter and look better.